So, generative AI is showing up in our classrooms and it's promising to be this total game changer for learning. But here's the thing. What if this incredible new tool has a hidden price tag? In this explainer, we're diving deep into the data privacy risks that could change everything. Okay, just picture this for a second. A classroom where an AI assistant can answer a student's question instantly, help them brainstorm an essay, or even create entire study guides just for them. I mean, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually happening right now. The potential is absolutely massive. But it opens up a really critical question. What could possibly go wrong? All right, first, let's make sure we're all on the same page here. When we say generative AI, we're talking about tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. At their heart, they're super powerful content machines. They digest these enormous mountains of data they've been trained on and then use it to whip up something brand new, whether that's an email, a chunk of code, or a history lesson. So it is absolutely no surprise that schools are jumping all over this technology. I mean, think about it. These tools tackle some of the biggest hurdles in education. You've got AI tutors that can give students one-on-one help that a single teacher just can't, and automated grading systems that free up so much precious time. We're talking a massive leap forward here. Okay, but here's where we need to hit the pause button. For these AIs to do their thing, they need data. And in a classroom, that data comes from students. We're talking their questions, their essays, how well they're doing in class. And this brings up a really fundamental and honestly pretty unsettling question. Where does all of that information actually end up? To really get our heads around the risks here, we've got to become data detectives. Let's follow that hidden trail and see exactly how these AI tools are gathering information from students and teachers, a lot of the time in ways they don't even realize. And believe me, the amount of data being collected is, well, it's kind of mind-boggling. It's not just the stuff a student types into a chat window. It's their assignments, their grades, maybe even recordings of the class itself. And we're not just talking about homework. This can get really personal. Things like a student's academic performance, information about learning disabilities, or even notes on their behavior. And let's be super clear about this. This isn't just random anonymous data. No, this is building a deep personal profile for every single student. So all this data collection, it really boils down to 4 key privacy concerns that, honestly, we just can't afford to ignore. Let's break them down. First on our list is what's known as the black box problem. It's kind of like you put the data in and an answer comes out, but you have no clue what's happening inside that box. When a student uses an AI, the school might have no idea if their work is being stored forever, used to train the AI more, or even sold to other companies. There's just this huge lack of transparency. All right, next up is the whole minefield of consent. We're talking about kids and teenagers using these tools. I mean, seriously, can we really expect them to understand pages of dense legal jargon in a privacy policy? Getting what's called informed consent is a massive hurdle, and way too often it's just a box that gets checked without anyone really understanding what they agreed to. There's a golden rule in data privacy called data minimization. It's super simple. Only collect what you absolutely need. Period. But a lot of these AI models, they're basically data hoarders. They're designed to grab as much information as possible, just in case it might be useful down the road. And that flies directly in the face of this fundamental privacy rule. And this last one. This one is seriously troubling. We're talking about the risk of bias in profiling. If an AI is trained on data that has old, baked-in biases, it can start making really unfair judgments. For example, it might learn from biased texts that essays written in a certain dialect are less academic and unfairly penalize students. It could give feedback that just reinforces harmful stereotypes. This isn't just a data issue. It's a huge ethical problem that could impact a student's entire future. Okay, so you might be thinking, this all sounds bad, but is it really happening? Well, let me tell you, these aren't just what-if scenarios. Let's look at a real-world case that shows just how fast things can go south when these theories become reality. Let's look at this case from a school in California. They brought in an AI assistant to help students out. Seemed like a great idea, right? Well, within just a few weeks, they found out something pretty shocking. Every single thing students were typing in was being sent and stored on servers in another country. This was a direct violation of state student privacy law, and they had to shut the whole thing down immediately. So that's the scary part. The big question now is, how do we stop that from happening all over the place? Well, the good news is there are real, concrete steps we can take. The answer isn't to ban this amazing technology, but to build some seriously strong digital guardrails around it. So, what do these guardrails look like? First off, schools have to do their homework and assess the risks before they roll out any new AI. Next, they need crystal clear public rules about how long they're keeping student data. Third, and this one's huge, they should turn off data collection for AI training wherever they can. Fourth, they've got to pick tools that keep the data inside the country following local laws. And finally, none of this works without education. We have to teach teachers and students how to use these powerful tools responsibly. But at the end of the day, this isn't something schools can fix all on their own. Protecting student privacy has to be a team effort, with everyone in the world of education playing their part. The truth is, everyone has a role to play here. Policymakers, they've got to get with the times and update our laws for the AI era. The tech companies building these tools, they need to bake privacy in from day one. It can't be an afterthought. And schools, they need to see themselves as guardians of student data, not just as early adopters of the coolest new gadget. And that really brings us to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? This technology is not going away, and its potential to make education better is real. So the challenge for all of us is to figure out this puzzle. How do we give our students these incredible, revolutionary tools without forcing them to trade away their fundamental right to privacy to get them? That's the balance we have to find.